Hello viewers, welcome to Candid Conversations with Ganesh Kuppala. You have seen various politicians, business people on my show. As you have seen in the latest interviews, I'm focusing more on the immigrant community and how we can help them with various aspects. Today, I have brought somebody very important in the prominent Indian community sitting here in UK, Kamalakar Rao Voruganti garu, and he's a solicitor administrator. He's been in UK for a couple of decades now, and he has done a lot of work in the community area. And also, there's an interesting topic that I wanted to touch base, that most of the immigrant community always talk about, dual citizenship, NRI policy, and all that stuff. So all these aspects, I wanted to kind of touch base with somebody who's known and who has the knowledge in the law and area of administration. So I wanted to bring somebody who's knowledgeable in this area. So I have invited Kamalakar Rao garu. He's here with us. Thank you so much, Kamalji, for coming here and taking your time to share the knowledge with us. Let's start with your quick introduction and see how you have started your journey. Where are you from? What's your background? It'll be very interesting. Yeah.
Hi, Ganesh.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Nice to see you again.
Thank you, Kamalji. Yeah.
And I appreciate the way you're doing the program and creating the facility to express their views, whoever the guest coming.
Yeah.
I must applaud. You're doing good.
Thank you, Kamalji.
And great going.
Thank you.
Keep continuing. And to the viewers, hi, namaste, Jai Bharat,
Jai Bharat.
Jai Telugu, Jai Telangana.
Jai Telangana.
Jai Telangana. So I came from old Karimnagar district.
Brilliant.
And I came from an agricultural family.
Very nice.
Where our family, forefathers, they were all landlords.
Mm-hmm.
And as on today, we still do the agriculture.
That's brilliant.
One of my older brother looks after our all agricultures. And still, as on today, I take this as a pride to share that we still do the agriculture.
Raitu Bidda.
Yes.
Still Raitu Bidda.
Yes.
Okay, brilliant.
That's a moment of pride.
Brilliant.
And I would say thank you to my parents to give me the opportunity to continue the agriculture.
Brilliant.
I
was doing my research, Kamalji. You've been a lawyer back home as well, and then you moved to UK. How did that happen? Because most of the diaspora, especially Indian diaspora, we see a lot of people coming from finance sector, IT sector, right? Generally, we don't see lawyers who's been practicing in India and moving back to a different country. That's a very interesting aspect. Could you please throw some light on, how did that happen?
It happened, I would say, I practiced in Hyderabad, in India for 4 years.
Okay.
Qualified in 1997 as an advocate.
Brilliant.
With 1 year apprenticeship. We were apprenticed for 1 year in 97 to 98.
Okay.
And then became an advocate.
Okay.
And then practiced law there for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Practiced in High Court, Rangareddy district.
Okay.
Practiced in Madchal.
Okay.
And throughout the Metro Hyderabad.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I practiced in represented cases in Kurnool.
Okay.
Sometimes in Kakinada.
Brilliant.
So I had a great opportunity for me to learn these skills. I must say that those brought me here. Those skills, knowledge, and real-time experience laid me the foundation. Great times. It's a great equipment for me when I landed here. I came as a student in 2002.
Okay. So if I may ask, where were you working in back home? Who did you work for?
In back home, when I started, I want to be a civil lawyer.
Okay.
I made a lot of research. And originally, the famous lawyer called Padmanabh Reddy.
Oh, okay.
Through my connection, then I was recommended to late Padmanabh Reddy. He was criminal specialist.
Oh, okay.
In state. He was quite famous.
Okay.
I was recommended to him by our MLC Jeevan Reddy.
Oh.
So we had close contacts with Jeevan Reddy.
That's amazing.
My maternal uncle was a very close friend of Jeevan Reddy.
Okay.
So Jeevan Reddy recommended me to Padmanabh Reddy. And there was a green signal from him to join him. But unfortunately, I decided I want to be a civil lawyer.
Okay.
So then I joined an advocate chambers called K.R. Raman.
Mm-hmm.
His father was a a DGP for Andhra side
Okay.
in the previous years, So I joined him because especially he was doing mixed case load, civil law, and all the stuff.
Mm.
So that's where my journey started. And it was
You're talking
fortunate.
about a lot of politicians, and so you must be working with some politicians back then.
Yes, our chambers were working for late senior NTR.
You mean the chief minister?
Yes,
Wow.
absolutely. And then I had an opportunity to work for his cases,
Wow.
his properties, and we also worked for late Indira Reddy, the then Home Minister.
Wow.
And then we had an opportunity to work for a minister called Hanumantappa Edora.
Wow.
And then we did represented some of the cases for the sister of Renuka Chaudhary.
That's very prominent personalities. So, audience, if you, I mean, you might already know, Senior NTR was one of the chief ministers that well known in Andhra Pradesh, and very, very popular for his welfare and his work for the state. And if you had an opportunity to work with him, nothing more than that, right? I mean, to start as a career, you're just a beginner.
That's a great privilege, I would say. In early days, I had an opportunity to learn so many skills and to deal with good cases, big cases. So that's how I must say what I am today is a reflection of what I learned back home as a beginner.
Brilliant.
It laid me the real-time foundation for me.
I'm just curious, did you have personal interactions with Senior NTR?
Very, very minutely.
Very few.
He was very,
but you still had some.
He was very busy man. It's not a joke to meet a chief minister because a busy person.
It was almost like a deity figure, right?
Yes.
For people of Andhra Pradesh, he used to be like God, right? I mean, he was a deity figure, But you had an opportunity with a very engaged to work with his chamber. And how, like, when you're doing so well back home, how did this UK happen to you?
It's a God wishing, you want to advance further.
Yeah.
You want many challenges to overcome. You want to beat a beat, you want to be internationally recognized, you want to be excel in your profession. And we always hear that, the law of the land, England.
Yeah.
Right? So it takes you to be a great pride, to be a practitioner in this land.
Correct.
So it's an opportunity for me the God gave me.
Okay.
Right? It came in front of me. Why not to explore?
True.
So that was the basis.
Brilliant. So you moved in 2002 to UK. Yeah. So you've been here for 22 years now.
Now, yes.
Okay, that's a lot. More than 2 decades. So you're a British citizen,
yes,
I presume.
I am a British citizen, yes.
Okay. So when we talk about this, I think I will get into a very interesting topic, Kamalji, because when I speak to my audience, most of my audience are South Asians, basically. South Asians and Indian origin people, or Indians primarily. The biggest questions are 2 areas, okay? One is the finance, remittance and all that stuff. 2 is mostly about this ILRs, dual citizenships, NRI policies. That's where everybody wants to know.
Yeah.
So I'll be extremely happy if you can touch base few things, because I was reading even the news around, and External Minister was here few months back, and he was in Columbia University, okay?
Yes.
One of the students stood up and asked about, we lived in all my life, like 25 years, I lived in India. I came back here. And then I worked here just because of the policies. I had to become a citizen after 7 years, 10 years, whatever the route is. And I chose to be because I'm living in this land.
Yeah.
But I still have my connections with India.
Right.
But I don't have dual citizenship, which is actually an intriguing point for most of the Indians, right? Okay. So what is your kind of thoughts around, should India have dual citizenship? Why don't we have dual citizenship? And what are the other countries have dual citizenship? How it works and all that stuff? I know it's very extended question, but I would like your expertise to talk about dual citizenship and the area of NRIs.
I think, first of all, we must acknowledge India's concerns as a government of India. It always expresses a concerns about. There are 2 areas from recent statement of our External Minister, Sri Jaishankar Garu. We can see that. In that angle, what the government is saying, that they have concerns over the security, concerns over the economic impact. But when you consider the contribution of diaspora which is diaspora, include everybody, PIOs, OCI, including the other people who are started migrating for a betterment.
Yeah.
In this context, I would go back to the efforts of late Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee.
Okay.
In the efforts of the then BJP governments.
Okay.
In that context, there was a report. Indian government ordered a committee, high-level committee.
Okay.
Which was headed by L.M. Sanghvi.
Okay. And when was this, Kamal?
This was done in 2000.
Okay.
And then there was a report laid down in 2001.
Okay.
The essence of that committee was to inquire into the diaspora's affairs.
Okay.
What they have done, whether they're an asset to India, what have they done, what are they doing, what benefit they've been bringing into the country, and what way we can have dialogue with them, what way we can respect them, what way we can work with them in future. So that committee, high-level committee, gave a report in 2001. So the committee went in detailed. It's a detailed report. Viewers can explore. It's available on the Ministry of India, External Affairs. You can download the report. It's a much more detailed 500 pages report. It talks about the migration when it started, colonial period. There are 3 phases of migration. They talk about first wave, second wave, third wave. And then the report estimated that about around 20 millions of diaspora living across the world.
20 million?
20 million then.
It's a big number.
It's a big number.
And that's 20 years back.
Yeah, that's in 2000.
It must have doubled.
It must have doubled or tripled.
Yeah.
So what the report, the committee did, it was an extensive consultation abroad, and they visited nearly 20 countries.
Okay.
They had a dialogue with the diasporas, and they came to a conclusion, and the report laid down so many in-depth reports about how they contributed, what level of role they were playing, how they brought name to India, how they brought expertise.
True.
Yeah, how they contributed financially. The report talks about a tremendous 2 decades of contribution from the migrants who migrated to Gulf region. It's fascinating. If you look at the report.
Do you have numbers, Kamalji? Any statistics that... one of the statistics I just want to highlight quickly, right? So when we talk about diaspora, when we talk about Indians living abroad, see, India may not be... Interesting fact, one of my friends who's into finance sector was telling, in our language, na main udhar ka raha, na main idhar ka raha.
Yeah.
The country is not owning me, both the sides, right? I mean, see, I know I've become OCI or whatever it is, but I'm not an Indian anymore. I'm a citizen of some other country. But if I want to go and do certain things, it is not happening.
Yeah.
Because of this restriction, whatever it is. It's a very interesting fact, actually, because I was speaking to a remittance company in my previous talk in the same Candid Conversation, and he was telling me that South Asia is the biggest remittance area, and India is the world largest remittance country.
Nation. Yeah.
And 135 billion US dollars have been remitted in 1 year, last year.
Per year.
Per year.
Yeah. That's a great number. That's a great number.
So when so much comes from NRIs, like so much comes from people who's living across globe, why shouldn't they get what they want to, right? And it's not unusual to have dual citizenship, right? So Canada has it, US has it, UK has it, like many other countries. You can name more. You're expert in this area. So what's your view on that? I know I'm throwing some numbers, but what's your view?
Yeah, it's a right context to talk about numbers as well.
Yeah.
Apart from the numbers, the importance of the diaspora that played a key role. The report of the high-level committee it states, it acknowledges that between the period 1973 to 1994, the inward flow of remittances from the members of diaspora in Gulf region only
Okay.
was an important factor in India's financial and fiscal policies.
True. So true.
So, since economic liberation 1919 onwards, there is a great potential to play as a world leader, right? So, what I'm saying is, not only in the context of the numbers, the report acknowledges what they've done. It is no coincidence that the last 2 decades, the report itself clearly states that decades have seen the emergence of members of Indian diaspora as elected leaders, politicians, and eminent professors, and the professionals, managers, and entrepreneurs in their adoptive homelands.
Correct.
So the period has considered India's surgence of members of Indian diaspora also playing an important role in mobilizing political support for issues vital concerning to the India. So when the diaspora is Indian government itself, the report acknowledges that the government, the report is itself is Indian documented government document. So the document acknowledges diaspora is playing a significant role in adaptive countries. So why not in India? Why there is a limitation?
True. So true.
So
we had prime ministers, we had Vice President Kamala with Indian origin. And we know, you sitting in UK, Rishi was our prime minister, Indian origin. We always, what's interesting is, when that happens, all the media channels in India talks about Indian origin, prime minister for UK.
Yeah, that's a level of pride.
That's a level of pride. Nothing wrong in it. But when it comes to the other side of that, people want to go back, even if they want to. There are certain limitations. Why can't have dual? That's my whole point here. What I'm trying to say.
I get what you're asking. In this context, what I'm saying is, I would like to quote from the then Prime Minister late Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee. That was documented in the report of high-level committee. So where it says the Prime Minister, the then External Minister, in 1977, there was a first international center. This was the first seminar held in connection with the diaspora in 1997. She late Vajpayee was an external minister for external minister for foreign affairs. What he said was, the subject of overseas Indians is one which is very dear to our hearts. He further goes on saying that everyone of Indian origin overseas is a representative of India, right? So, and retains many aspects of our cultural traditions and civilization. So that's what the acknowledgement.
True.
You're a representative for India in overseas. He goes on says that though our sons and daughters have gone abroad to work or reside there, India will never disown them.
True.
Or fail to appreciate and respect their essential loyalty to the culture and heritage of mother country. So why I'm quoting this, this is very important. The statement made by Sri late Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji. This is very important. He acknowledges that India will never disown them. It's a big statement.
It is, indeed.
That reflects the government's view. It's not his personal view. That was the view of the government of India.
So, Kamalji, it's amazing to hear all that stuff, but you're probably not answering my question. I'm sorry to say this, but my question is, when things are so positive about this, why is it not converting into a policy? Why is it not happening? What do you think the challenges are?
The challenges, as far as I am aware, the challenges, there are 2 concerns for the Indian government. One is economic concerns, economic impact, and the security concerns.
Like what?
See, the security concerns, unfortunately, Indian government doesn't talk about in detail. What are those security concerns?
I think there are obvious ones, probably your neighborhood.
Yeah, neighborhood, terrorism. These are the prevailing problems entire world is witnessing.
True.
In that context, India is not alone. The entire world is suffering with those problems. Every country is suffering, be it a Ukraine war, be it some other countries, attacks, Syria, Iran, the world has got a global problem.
It's a geopolitical issue across the globe, right?
Across the globe.
Okay.
In that context, the reasons given by our external foreign minister, the security concerns, this document, I'm going back to the, back to again.
Yeah, makes sense, yeah.
This detailed document, in-depth consideration was given to the security issues. The viewers can read that the report itself categorically says they have considered in depth the security concerns. And this report was made immediately after 2001, the attack on Parliament, I think,
Right.
if I'm right. Despite of that, this report came. The report considers the security problems, and it recommends how that can be addressed.
True.
And the good thing about this report is that they recommend dual citizenship to the diaspora.
So the report recommendation clearly says they should take it positively.
Yeah, they deserve dual citizenship because of their contribution to the motherland.
Yeah.
So, and the report itself clearly states this is not an automatic right.
You have to apply for it, or
you have to make an application.
Yeah.
And there will be procedures and policies laid down by the enactment of the Parliament.
Yeah.
You're not automatically giving them.
True.
If you want to preclude someone, if you see that somebody is a security concern, you can eliminate them.
So you have a process.
You have a process that
there's an application process. That's what the report recommends. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, the committee examined the issues of receipt. Let me read some of the quote from the policy.
Why not?
The committee has examined the issue in all its ramifications, including legal and constitutional and security aspects. The committee has made its considered recommendation that dual citizenship should be permitted to foreign citizens of Indian descent settled in certain countries, not all countries.
Not all countries. That makes sense.
Yeah, with rubric of the Citizenship Act, right? We have shown that constitutional amendment is not required. So, for allowing dual citizenship, and that a framework and a legislative pattern already exist in the Citizenship Act waiting to be adapted. Right?
That's very interesting. I mean, you're bringing up really, really interesting topics, Kamalji. I mean, probably it needs a deep dive into various certain aspects, but on the prima facie, like if you look at it, the report does say it is possible, and they said it 20 years back, or 23 years back to be precise.
Yeah.
Now, after these many years, we are still there. So what do you think would have not happened? Is it the will of the federal government in India, or is it something else? Is it what is stopping this to happen?
I think my personal view is this. In this dual citizenship context, it's the parliament, the sovereign parliament of India has the power. If they want to give dual citizenship, they can do it. And the concerns of security of India and the economic impact, these can be dealt with because India is much more economically and, it's emerging as a world leader.
It is. Fifth
So
largest.
we are much more placed in a right direction with the right equipment, right financials. We can address these problems, and we can, because the committee recommends that these things can be addressed without causing problem to the security of the India. Dual citizenship can be given. That was 20 years back.
True.
Now, there is a real sense of urgency. The government will have to look into it. So because as Vajpayee said, India will never disown them.
True.
My view is that placing a restriction or a limitation on the diaspora is nothing but disowning them. Because there is a sense of urgency for them. The move of the government restricting them or limiting them distract them and creates a feeling, a sense of disheartening. What is happening is that, I was born Indian. I lived there. My formal education was there. What I am today is a reflection of what happened, how you were grown up there. You had the education, you had the skill, you brought those skills here for living only, right? And you showed your loyalty to India, motherland, by way of whatever investments you made back home, or whatever the contribution you made in all fields, technology or employment or industry. But why is a restriction? Because the report confirms that they are playing a significant role in abroad, be it politics, be it in a government administration, limiting them, preventing them.
True. It's not helping, definitely. So
I can't understand.
Yeah. No. It makes complete sense to me, at least. But let's see, because my only hope, Kamalji, is this is the government in the last 10 years who brought so many radical
Changes,
call it changes, right? Be it GST or demonetization, Article 360, such a big things, all that happened. So let's hope this government who's sitting in the central India right now, so takes some call and take. My only question on this topic, let's move into the other topics as well, because I want to touch on various other topics as well with you. But just to close the loop on this one, how is it different being a dual citizenship owner versus being a OCI or POI, whatever you call it as? Would that make a difference politically, or what does it mean? Like, what I understand is OCI holders cannot contest elections in India, right? Is that right? Am I reading it right?
That's right.
So if you can elaborate on that, yeah. What is the difference between citizenship versus OCI?
Citizen has no limitations, right? Your constitutional powers are guaranteed. Being an overseas citizen, there are limitations, which is you can't take a highest post, you can't contest, you cannot vote. The fundamental right of voting is being taken away.
Wow.
You cannot be exercising you cannot participate in a democratic process.
That's very interesting point, because in that context, then there's a high political intention wouldn't be there, because the moment you are a OCI, you don't have voting power, voting power in India. So the Indian politicians may not be interested in you, because they're not losing much on the political side. I'm talking about, because how Indian politics and elections works, right? Even if somebody sitting in like 500 miles away on that voting day, people want them to come back and vote. Every vote matters, right? If the overseas citizens have voting rights, the things would have been completely different. So
I agree with you, but now more to that, what I see is, I was an Indian, born Indian. I was born bred there. My parents were there. So also entire diaspora. I was educated. Sensibilities came, skills came. I cannot feel that I'm an Indian.
Yeah.
See the name of overseas citizenship. That itself states that you're not an Indian.
True.
You're not that tells that you're not a true Indian.
Okay.
It gives me some sort of flavor that, I'm an overseas. Why the tag? Why the limitation?
Okay.
When so many countries like UK, America,
yeah, there are plenty of them.
Australia, Finland, and some of the European countries, they're successfully practicing the dual nationality.
Correct. You're right.
Why? See, it's not argumentative. Why we want to ask?
Why not?
Because why not?
Correct.
Why we cannot participate in that?
I think it's a genuine question coming from both of us.
Process.
Even as a host, I'm asking the same question to you, and it's interesting to hear all the research that you have done. Thank you so much for that, by the way. But are you doing anything in terms of collating all this into one place? Raising petitions, or
yes,
can we do something sitting in this country?
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Because if diaspora is playing any pivotal role in bringing the trade facilities in between the countries and bringing the skills exchange, that's what the report says.
Yeah.
So, if that, so be it, right? But if that is the case, we can bring. And I have done what I have done recently is that, because this is where we stationed, I recently moved a petition to the Parliament of UK,
Brilliant. Okay.
so that a debate can be done in the Parliament of UK in connection with the granting dual citizenship to diaspora.
Is it possible, Kamalji? Is it possible to propose from a different country to the government of India that, this is something that overseas citizens are looking for?
Yeah,
Is there a possibility?
I think this is the place, because a parliament is a parliament anywhere in the world. It's for the people. So we are the people, part of that parliament.
True.
So we have, we want the government to hear. So that our hope is that the government of India can hear us.
It's very interesting. We are sitting next to the Parliament.
Yeah.
Studio is close to the Parliament as well, which is very interesting. Yeah, but yeah, very very inspiring actually. I hope that happens. I hope this moves on. But audience, like I will be sharing this report that Kamalji was talking about in this conversation. I'll share the links to that report. Please do watch. If you're Indian diaspora sitting in across the globe, I know most of my audience are, as I said, like Indian diaspora sitting in different countries. So I would want people to come back. So can they reach out to you if they want to talk about and see like what it means?
Certainly, with pleasure. Anybody wants to discuss, or anybody wants to share any information, and we must be together, and I cannot simply alone take up this. I need everybody's help of the diaspora. We are not against the Indian government, let me be clear. We are not trying to defame the Indian government. We respect Indian government. Our bottom line is that we want to have our due regard. We want to be Indian citizens. We don't want to be someone else. Nothing short of Indian citizenship.
That's
so
true.
that's the genuine and genuine demand from the diaspora. We want it to be, you own us. You don't disown us, please.
Yeah.
As Vajpayee said, India never disowns. So the process of owning should continue. They should make efforts, and they should address the security concerns. The challenges can be overcome, and they can limit people, limit certain individuals who they see the threat to the security of the country. So it should not stop. The exercise should continue, and it should not take ages as well. Because from 2020, we are in 2020, moving to 2025.
Yeah.
In this present day, the world has become a global village.
True.
It's only a mere namesake that this is England, that is India.
True.
The borders or physical borders, no more is a barrier.
True.
So that's my view, because we must all step up. We must request Indian government in every possible way.
I think we should take a delegation to Prime Minister's office.
Definitely,
if
why
possible.
not? In whichever way,
Yeah.
we must act together, make representation, take a delegation. We must open up the discussions, seminars, the benefits of it, and we must make Indian government to address and acknowledge that there is a sense of urgency to grant dual citizens, because by doing that we feel at home. By doing that, my sense of pride, our sense of pride has not been taken away.
True.
I feel that I'm a true Indian because I am loyal to the country, right? I want to be loyal, and I want my next generation to be loyal to the country. Because what happens is, after our life is gone, next generation must continue the tradition, must continue the ethos, must continue the cultural heritage. So
Brilliant.
there is a great benefit if we continue the diaspora connection to extend to the next generations, because we want everyone. See, if I'm here, I don't want my connection to India end here with my life. I want to continue for generations together.
True.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. So you touched upon very interesting topic. So you lived here for 22 years.
Yes.
So how did you keep this culture going? And I was going through your profile. You have worked in various diaspora organizations, or you founded some of them, right? You worked in some of the diaspora organizations. How did that work? I mean, how big is our community? And I was actually, Seemaji is our home affairs, Ministry of Home Affairs now. She recently released a report as well, and they were talking about net immigration of close to 900K or million. And I was telling you the remittance statistics as well previously, and you mentioned about 20 million people
Yeah.
in
That was
2001
in 2001.
across the globe. But now it would have been like, I don't
Okay.
know, probably 40, 50, or I don't know the number exactly. But UK alone is, I mean, again, Jaishankar ji was reporting this in the Columbia University in the recent conversation that 1 million students comes out of the country every year.
Yeah, that's a great number, isn't it?
Every year, and these like at least 50 to 60% of these students are not going back home.
Yeah,
So we are talking about adding 600K every year
every year. Yeah,
to the globe.
yeah,
So if those are all losing this right, I think there is a significant amount of people that we are talking about.
Yeah.
It's a huge number. Yeah, that tells a lot. Now, the question about the culture,
Yeah.
saving your culture and keeping the culture with the community ourselves who are sitting back home and coming here and not losing that connect still. What do you do in can you throw a light on like what have you done in the last few years,
Yes,
last 10 years, 20 years? Yeah.
Yes, it's very basic, fundamental to continue because you are in a foreign land. You have to preserve who you are, where you're from, what's your cultural practice, and what you want to teach your children.
Yeah.
So that made us to think how we can unite.
Mm.
There must be an association.
Mm.
There must be, be it a Telugu association, be it a Kannada association, be it a Tamil association, be it India, North Indian association, be it whatever you call the name. It's a diaspora.
Yeah.
So in that sense, we started an organization called Telangana Development Forum, UK and Europe.
It's primarily because you are from Telangana.
It tells that where we are.
Yeah.
So we want to unite them. We want to promote the culture. We want to help the state because there was a agitation that at the time going on
for the separate state movement.
Separate state movement for to recognize their pride and identity. So we supported. Telangana Development Forum supported the agitation, and one of its out of India in the entire agitation. One of its biggest kind was that big achievement for the organization was we did a demonstration in front of the UK Parliament. That was the one of its kind outside of the India. That was the biggest movement we led. So from Telangana, so any event that happened in a big time was in front of the Parliament in the UK. That we did. We take a pride in that. So we made a representation to the then Prime Minister. We went to 10 Downing Street and we handed over the representation. And we did the demonstration before the Indian High Commission. We want not only that. We want to help Telangana to achieve its statehoodness. And then what we did was we also continued cultural programs. We want to preserve our culture. We want to practice. We want to give that culture to the next generations. So bring that harmony into present generation and into the next generation.
Brilliant.
So by doing that, there is a more bottom line to it. We want to give this country a good generation.
True.
Where this country
value system is
more.
Yeah.
And the next generation, a good generation comes into, you contribute to the society here. Equally, you preserve your cultural heritage
Makes
and
sense.
your, ethos, cultural ethos. So that was the basis. And we did successfully. We've been doing for the last 14 years. Batakama Floral Festival in a big time. You witnessed last
I did, yeah.
huge number turned up.
Yeah.
And what TDF has achieved was we conducted all these programs, cultural programs. We conduct Batakama, we conduct Vinayak Chavithi, Ganesh Chaturthi.
Yeah.
It's in a big time. This is for the last 14 years we've been doing it. And we take donations from the sponsors, majority, and our events are free of cost. So we have an agenda where we always talked within the team. We used to always discuss let's not burden our community with the money. Let's raise for the community. And we celebrate these occasions with our members and promote the sponsors at the same time.
That's brilliant.
You know, sponsors always come for a business sense. If you can give them a business from community, and then we do the events for free of cost. So we take that pride.
That's
because
brilliant. And now that I think you started 14 years back, I've been here for some years now. It's amazing to see the kind of diasporas that we see across the different communities, and especially Telangana. You know, you name TDF, and we have TAUK,
Yes.
Telangana Association of United Kingdom, and then there is TENF. There's so many organizations, right? Everyone is trying to do some piece.
Yes.
And I think it's amazing to see the kind of, you know, camaraderie and, you know, the people, all of these organizations working together to build something for the nation, coming away from the nation as well, like, you know, building your future generations, giving back. I think one of your programs which fascinated me specifically is the Akshara Jyoti. I heard about this program from one of your previous presidents, I think, and you were a founding member and you were a previous president as well, and you're a chairman right now. So how does it, like, I want to throw some light on Akshara Jyoti. మీరు తెలుగులో చెప్పాలన్నా ఓకే, తెలంగాణ వాళ్ళకి అర్థమవుతుంది అనుకుంటే.
That's a good point. Thank you for reminding. It's how we thought was Akshara Jyoti was a program. The main aim of the Akshara Jyoti was to help the underprivileged students.
And this is back home. అంటే తెలంగాణలో ఉన్న పిల్లలకి మీరు సపోర్ట్ చేస్తారు.
ఏ రకంగా any in 100 of possibility ways, if there is a way, we want to help them. So we have done successful programs directly to the end user. The benefit should go to end user. Right. We never had a middleman. So if there is a need, we select a need and the contribution goes directly to them.
హౌ డస్ దిస్ వర్క్? దీన్ని కొంచెం తెలుగులో చెప్పండి, తెలంగాణ ఆడియన్స్ కూడా చూస్తుంటారు కాబట్టి. అక్షర జ్యోతి ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎలా వర్క్ అవుట్ ఉందో అసలు?
అక్షర జ్యోతి ఏంటంటే వీ పికప్ ది నీడ్. సపోజ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ వి గివ్, ఇప్పుడు నల్గొండలో ఒక బ్లైండ్ స్కూల్ ఉంది.
ఓకే.
ఆ బ్లైండ్ స్కూల్లో వన్ ఆఫ్ ది ఇన్ఛార్జ్ ఆఫ్ దట్ బ్లైండ్ స్కూల్ అప్రోచ్ one of our member from Nalgonda. So they request us.
అంటే ఎలా ఫండింగ్ కోసం అప్రోచ్ అవుతారా, ఎలా చేస్తారు?
Yeah, it's about this is what we need, books.
Okay.
There is a need for books. Or example, there is a need for school chairs, benches. There is a need for, you know, suppose there is another way we did in one of the schools, the rooftop was leaking. So they required some amount. So we paid for that and made sure that is implemented through our local connection. We always put a local connection.
Kudos to your team for doing this, Kamalji, because ఇప్పుడు నేను తెలుగులో ఎందుకు మాట్లాడమన్నా అంటే, ఇప్పుడు తెలంగాణ జిల్లాలో చూసే వాళ్ళు కూడా ఉంటారు ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్. ఇప్పుడు అక్షర జ్యోతి అనే ప్రోగ్రామ్ మీరు పిక్ చేసింది చాలా చాలా ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్. ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ అంటే వెరీ ఇన్స్పైరింగ్ ఆల్సో, బికాస్ మీరు కల్చర్ని ప్రిజర్వ్ చేయడం ఒక ఆస్పెక్ట్, అది అందరం చేస్తున్నాం, విచ్ ఇస్ వెరీ గుడ్. ఐ థింక్ దట్స్ ద కోర్ క్రక్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎనీ కల్చరల్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్స్, రైట్? బట్ అట్ ద సేమ్ టైమ్, బికాజ్ యూఆర్ డూయింగ్ వెల్, మీరు అభివృద్ధి చెందారు, మీరు గ్రోత్లోకి వచ్చారు, దాన్ని గివింగ్ బ్యాక్ టు ద సొసైటీ అనేది పాకెట్స్లో కాకుండా ఒక లార్జర్ ఆడియన్స్కి రీచ్ కావాలంటే ఇలాంటి ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ హెల్ప్ చేస్తాయి. మీరు ఇప్పుడు అక్షర జ్యోతి పిక్ చేసిన దానికి డెఫినెట్లీ ఇట్స్ కుడోస్ టు యువర్ టీమ్. వెరీ గుడ్. ఐ థింక్ యూ షుడ్ టేక్ ఇట్ ఫర్దర్ ఇస్ మై సజెషన్. ఎందుకంటే దాన్ని కొంచెం స్కేల్ అప్ చేయాలని, అసలు మీ థాట్స్ ఏంటో నాకు తెలియదు. వాట్స్ యువర్ ఐడియా, వాట్స్ యువర్ స్ట్రాటజీ బిహైండ్ ఇట్? ఐ డోంట్ నో హౌ మెనీ పీపుల్ యూఆర్ టచింగ్. ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు సే ఇట్స్ ఫైన్, అదర్వైజ్ what my only ask, maybe because coming from similar backgrounds, right, all of us probably have come, some of the people would have come from really rich backgrounds, but most of the diaspora comes from middle class or like lower middle class groups and all. If you are doing well today, if you can give back to the society, that's the best way to do, right? I think if that is being done, it's amazing. One thing fascinates me about you, Kamalji, is, you know, I work with one of the organizations as well, as you know. I mean, Telangana Association of UK. All of you guys know it already. Our founder, Anil Kurmachalam Garu, has high regard for you. He talks a lot of good stuff about you as well. And what's fascinated me most of the times, all this good work is one area, but how do you balance your profession with this? Like, you all, as you said, you come here to grow. ఇక్కడికి వచ్చిందే మీరు కెరియర్గా గ్రో అవ్వాలని అదంతా చేయాలని వచ్చి అంటారు కదా. సో హౌ డూ యూ ఫైండ్ టైమ్ అండ్ హౌ డూ యూ బ్యాలెన్స్ ఇట్? అండ్ డూ యూ యాక్చువల్లీ సపోర్ట్ పీపుల్ ఫర్ your professional issues also, like all this diaspora? Once you connect with thousands of people, hundreds of people, they might come and hit your door for help in the solid, immigration matters, or it could be visa issues or various things. How do you balance it? Do you have a thin line between saying, okay, it's profession now, no more cultural stuff?
No, I think from right from my family structure was that we always had an appetite. I lived in a joint family atmosphere, where I think hardly my father and his brother, they distributed assets probably 10 years ago. So until such time, even after I came to United Kingdom, so even after we became adults, they were living in one house, family house, never distributed the assets. Ours was a big family. We learned how to understand other member of the family. So from the grassroots, we have that atmosphere.
So you look at diaspora as a family?
Yes.
Okay.
For me, diaspora is a family. For me, human being is a family member at large. So I grew up with that sensibilities. So I always have an appetite to give consideration to others, help others. I displayed entire my career. If you touch anybody in the surroundings of our community, I've always cherished somebody's success. If somebody is succeeding, I always helped. I always said, well done. I want others to grow as well. It's not only me, the society. I always believe in a philosophy. Yours and your neighborhood, your family, your country should prosper.
Correct.
The only way it prospers is if you acknowledge others, help each other. So that's how we grow together. So I don't believe in growing alone and your neighborhood is suffering, or your friend is suffering, your family is suffering. So the collectiveness, that gives you much more satisfaction.
Right.
As a practitioner, see, as I say, what I follow is as a practitioner. I was never after the money. My basic core principle is I never ran after the money. I would never do that. I'm not saying viewers, please don't take me as I'm boosting. I'm not boosting. It's the character of mine.
No,
you see, I'm an honest guy. I follow ethos, all these things. I go, morality is high in me. I want to go with that. I was brought up with those sensibilities. It's part of me.
Yeah, but see, that's very well said, Kamalji. But point is, if someone is approaching you for help, that means that they're in need.
The doors are open.
They're in need, obviously.
Yeah.
So and because you guys are doing really well, whosoever it is, the diaspora people, if we are doing well and if we don't help our brothers and sisters who are suffering, there's no point. And that's why I think when you talk about those topics, like, we are here to help.
Yes,
that makes me really happy, because I do get a lot of calls from student community. There will be a lot of needs. You know how it works, right? You moved from a different country, you came here all the way, you're thinking something else.
Yeah.
But the reality is completely different. Make tells kada ippudu.
Yes.
I want to touch one area, specifically in this area. Like, a lot of students. And I was surprised when External Minister said this, 1 million students are coming out of country. Is a ridiculous number. It's really big, right? So how do we actually, instead of we, I would ask organizations like yourself, how do you help the students? What do you guys do to help new students coming into the country? Do you kind of help them in mentoring, finding jobs, or like what happens?
See, basically, I'm part of all these groups whether you call it as a WhatsApp group or cultural association groups.
Mm.
All Telugu organizations, they divert a member of or a non-member even belongs to the community. They always put me through.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm always there to answer. I never say no. I will always pick up the calls. You can check,
No,
background.
absolutely. Yeah.
I always pick up.
Yeah.
I will try and help them. In one important thing, when one of the leader came from Telangana, I was openly telling them, the young generation, look, we are there. We are at phone call. If you need anything, just approach us. Whichever possibly we can do, we can help you out. But there is a greater need to educate them, because recently we have been seeing our members getting involved into legal issues.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate.
What kind of legal issues, Kamalji? Because you're a solicitor, I want to understand. How what kind of legal issues comes into immigrant community generally? What are the different legal issues?
Generally, the new generation, I would say new generation, all the members of our generations, it's not about you coming here and getting job. It's much more to it. You're living in a different country, you have to respect the rule of law.
Yeah.
So some of the things I think new generations are not understanding. You are coming here for an education, you are coming here for a job. You bear in mind there is a rule of law. Don't break it.
Don't break the law of the land.
Don't break the law of the land wherever it is.
Yeah.
Because you want betterment, you want an achievement, that's the basic principle. You got to follow the rule of law. If you don't follow the rule of law, you will be dragged into the legal issues, be it a civil issue, be it a criminal issue. So unfortunately, I've seen some of the cases are happening in criminal side as well. Because what happens is your back home parents or family members have high hope on you. Being a migrant, if they send you here,
spending so much of money.
So much of money.
Yeah.
There is a money involved in it.
Yeah.
There is a emotion involved in it. Yeah. There is expectation involved on you. So they need to be educated. I think we need to do much more programs on it, to telling them, be it here or be it in India. So wherever in the larger audience we can do, if we can do the program.
Yeah, sure, why not?
I would appreciate, because we need to talk this as a matter of urgency.
It is. Because I have seen few instances. The reason I'm asking this question to you, Kamalji, because the community where I live, we are in East London and across Central London as well. I've seen number of instances where students unknowingly doing few things, then caught up in the legal system.
Yeah.
And they have no clue whether this is a problem or not. I think there's definitely education missing on the law of the land, definitely, because that's the reason I want to understand, especially the Telugu community or South Asian or South Indian community, to be precise. What you would have seen in some cases, right? I'm sure you would have seen a number of cases. What are the common problems that Indian students face generally?
Common problems, majority I see are the driving offences.
Driving offences.
Yes. Okay. Be it driving without a license, be it speeding, be not following the
parking tickets,
not following the traffic rules.
Traffic rules.
That's one major area. And some of the things.
How about the visa issues? Are they normal? Because we have seen a number of, at least not many, but at least few instances I have seen, they have no clue whether some university is the right university or not. They come here.
I think in that respect, what they have to see is, it's now Google is providing much more information.
True.
They have to do their basic.
Do your own basic research. Yeah.
Basic research, you have to follow it.
Yeah.
And while you do, like you want to go to example King's College, you Google it and you find out it's in fingertips.
Yeah.
Equally, there is a basic need for you to Google how the rule of law runs in this country.
True. So true.
Especially when it comes to the woman. You come across when you go out in this country. The law that applies in India, the law that treats in India, how it operates is quite different to here. So I've seen some of the people involved in,
Domestic.
no, relationship maybe.
Okay.
It's nothing wrong in relationship.
Yeah.
But if you're not in relationship, the girl doesn't want you, you want to that girl. That's where the problem is. If a girl is saying no, stop.
No, it's a clear no.
Stop.
Yeah.
If you're following it, if you're following her, or you try to send her email, try to call her up, it's an harassment. Bottom line, it's an offense.
And it's seriously taken here.
It's seriously taken.
Yeah.
So, I've seen couple of people.
Students do watch out. This is very important topic you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because back home you might be thinking it's normal, but it is not in UK.
It's not normal.
It's a very serious offense.
It's a serious offense, and I've dealt with few cases. I cannot name for a legal reason.
No, definitely not. Yeah, don't name anything.
Privileged, but that's what it is, because you don't want to get involved in that. What's our business is study, you follow it.
Yeah.
You came for work, follow it. Mind your business.
True.
And be yourself.
True.
And contribute to the society.
True.
Make the society think, what we have done, like diaspora is saying, we have done so much of contribution. Our business is contribute to the society. Be good and do good and follow the good, righteous things.
Yeah.
So that's what, but we must do so much on that.
Yeah.
Because
Don't get into trouble just by doing unnecessary stuff, right? I mean, very important topic actually you're touching. I would want to spend a lot of time on this, but yeah, I'll call you again. I think we should call some students. I was talking to you right before the interview. I think we should bring all the students together, especially when they're coming. And High Commission also should do some programs around, law and all that. We should talk to High Commission and see how it works.
I think my experience with the Indian High Commission is they are always helping when it comes to the programs with the communities.
Yeah.
I've seen last year Indian High Commission doing in Dartford some kind of programs.
They did, yeah.
So let's touch the base with them and tell them that this is what we are thinking. I think they will sail with us.
Yeah. And they do this welcome students reception every year.
Yeah.
I think as a continuation to that, we should do some coaching or education on how law works. I mean, at least the basics, right? Fundamental, so that students coming into the country will not get into trouble. And that's very important aspect. Okay. Very, very, very interesting. Thank you so much for touching that. I know because most of my audience are students and they would love to hear all this stuff. And number two, one more important aspect is the mortgages and, how to bring money. I was talking to various financial experts on my show. But I know you are expert as well in the mortgage area. So what's your take on how should one think about mortgages in this country? And, should they, I don't want the answers. I know you will charge me for that. But just give me in a generic sense, what's the right time for people to kind of bring properties or like buy homes, or is there anything like that? Or because I've seen people waiting for ILRs, I've seen people waiting for them.
I think
what is the right time to buy home in UK?
I think it needs an expert advice on the financial side, because when you say right time, it all talks about interest rates and the countries.
No, I think my question is more on individual specific, as in like people come here, so they don't have to wait for ILR, right?
No, you don't. See, but that point, I would clearly say that there aren't many banks that will give you the mortgages if you are subject to immigration control. There are few lenders who can come forward. One of them is Halifax. The Halifax is much more liberal, and they have a set procedure. They've dealt with these kind of cases. Suppose someone comes as a skilled worker. Not many lenders will give you the loan for mortgage.
Is it because of the credit scores? You need to build a credit score or something like that?
Credit score is an essential part of
your system. Correct.
I'm not going into that. The basic part is that your immigration restriction. So if you are not permanent resident in this country, which is called ILR or settlement, if you are not, many of the lenders go back. Okay. Very few lenders. I name it.
You have few.
Yeah.
So people generally go for, like, what I've seen in the diaspora is they generally wait for 2 years, first 2 years to kind of build the credit score and all, and then go for it. But you're right. You're absolutely right that, because I've had my friends trying for it, and they said that, though you have like 40 lenders, for example, you only have 4 who can do it,
6
or 4 or 5 who, okay, that makes a lot of sense. So I think, but people can still buy. That
Still
is
buy.
very clear.
There is
So
still buy.
you don't have to, viewers. You don't have to wait for ILR to get. If you're doing well financially, you can afford. Please reach out to your mortgage providers. I think you are one of the advisors as well. But yeah, please reach out, and there is an option for you to so, because some of the countries, I lived in Middle East.
Yeah.
You are never allowed to.
Yeah.
You cannot own a home, right? Some of the countries, but UK in that case very liberal.
Very liberal.
You can own a home from your year 2 or year 3, whatever it is, which is very interesting aspect. That's good. One more area I want to touch, Kamalji, with you is how immigration law is turning generally, NRA policy and immigration space. Do Indian governments have enough to talk about NRA policies? Dual citizenship we talked about a lot, but what is your view on NRA policy? Especially you mentioned about Gulf countries and all. So most of the people talk about NRA policy as a common aspect. Even when our minister KTR was here last year, and some of the diaspora members were asking questions about, okay, what's your take on NRI policy, even for the state? But I always get confused. Maybe a lot of my audience get confused as well. Is it a central subject, or states can do things on the NRI policy, and how does this work?
I think states could also do, because if you take the example of Andhra Pradesh,
Yeah.
they have set up a wing called APNRC something. That exclusively deals with the NRIs of the state.
Okay.
So that's an example.
Okay.
In the similar lines, I don't think government of Telangana never followed that line.
Okay.
What I could note was the last government did was there was a representative called Bigala.
Mahesh Bigala.
Yeah. So they appointed him.
He is a coordinator at least.
Yeah, maybe the coordinator, but then there was never been a set policy on the NRIs of Telangana. I'm talking about the state-wise. I think by seeing at what AP has done, definitely they could do a policy on that. But in consultation, keeping in view of the central government's you have a parameter, right? You can go on to a limited extent.
True.
Because
it's external affairs is central subject, isn't it?
Yeah. So you cannot override the central subject.
Okay.
When it comes to NRS policy. You are only talking about statewide, setting up some wing or hearing their problems, and ultimately it will lead to the central government again. The state government will approach the state government if it is a foreign policy, the NRIs. So I think, what we are seeing is, the cut short to it is, why an NRI policy? Dual citizenship will answer all these.
Correct. But until then,
that's what we have policies now.
Yeah.
Every central government has got a policy on it, whether it be it a PIO, whether it OCIO, OCI. These are all to deal with the
NRI policy.
NRIs only.
True.
So I think but they are not fully 100% answering the needs of the diaspora. So only solution I would say is, it's straightforward.
Dual citizenship.
Dual citizen, end of the game. No more buts, no more ifs.
True.
No more disheartening feeling that I've been restricted, I've been limited. I can't be 200%. I can't, when I go back home, I'm not at full 100% liberty.
True.
What I want to do.
Yeah.
When I say liberty, that means that now somebody can say, you can buy property, you can buy a burger, you can buy a biryani. That's not what I want.
Yeah.
See, my mind should be free.
Yeah.
I am an Indian, 100% an Indian. I should feel that.
True. You're very clear on that. I think what you're saying is dual citizenship is the need of the hour, and government should take it as a priority at some point. And I seriously think, I'm personally, maybe we don't know what we don't know. Probably there are reasons external ministry is looking into, but I don't think we taking this into a delegation or representation is nothing wrong in it. I think we should pursue it, take it forward. Kudos to you for raising that petition. You're talking about that. So how is it going? It's going well? People are supportive?
Right. It's in initial stages. It required a minimal support. That has been there now. And
okay, that's good.
They're going to check it. And they have standards for the petition. Okay. And they will let us know. Unfortunately, they have high number of petitions pending. And what they said was they are checking it. It might take a little longer than expected. But I'm I'm hoping positive.
Yeah.
And it's an opportunity for diaspora to tell the government of India that, we want this to be done. Because from 2000, this was and more importantly, I must say this, viewers, this has been the long-standing promise made by the BJP.
Yeah.
Dual
They are in
nationals.
power now. Yeah.
Dual nationals. So by considering the our honorable Prime Minister's great achievements, be it a demonetization, be it a GST, be it a Article 360.
That's more controversial, right? I mean,
Yes.
it's simpler than Article 360.
Yeah, those subjects were much more complex than what we talked about dual citizenship.
Yeah.
So I have I'm hopeful, and then I have every faith in the government of India, and every faith in our honorable Prime Minister and the External Minister, Affairs, Jaishankarji, that this has to be considered as a matter of urgency and a grant dual citizenship.
Yeah, and we are happy to provide statistics and conversations. But are you okay on this topic especially? I know we are at the edge of our, but quickly to talk about, are you talking to the other country diasporas?
You see,
is there an effort?
I think I am going to do that. That's in my mind. Okay. But I need all of diaspora support.
We'll be with you.
We are with you. All the communities in United Kingdom and the communities across the globe. The reason behind I raised a petition in the UK Parliament, I'm hoping that it will list, was give an opportunity to the entire diaspora to be coming together again. It's not like it's nothing to do with this is a sincere effort.
Yeah.
Our demand is sincere, logical, sensible. And we are asking is, please do not disintegrate us. Please own us. We are Indians, and we were born Indians, and nothing short. We simply want Indian nationality.
Because of emotion, because of love.
There is a pride, emotion, and cultural heritage in us.
Yeah.
We are very much connected to the back home.
Yeah.
And the day we began with is reading the newspaper of India.
Yeah, I know.
So much more, the newspaper or whatever the news of UK comes second.
Yeah.
By saying that, we are not disrespectful to the UK. We must acknowledge that. We always thank.
We love both the countries. So that's the reason we're looking for two citizenships. Okay, that's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you so much for Kamalji for all this knowledge. I think as I was telling audience, dual citizenship is primary topic of this discussion today because it's been spoken in various platforms already, and people are talking about it for a number of years now, more than 2 decades, as Kamalji was talking about the report. And Kamalji, that's a brilliant research that you have done. You have brought in a lot of details, a lot of specifics. I mean, you are a solicitor, you would do that. But is there anything that you want to say to the audience to close your remarks? Yeah.
Yes, I would like to share my personal journey a bit of more.
Yeah.
When I qualified back in 2004, I would say that my achievements are these. Post qualifying after 10 months, I set up my own practice in this country. The general rule is that once you become a solicitor, you have to have 3 years work experience under a firm. But in my case, after qualifying in 2004, 10 months of solicitor qualification, I was given a waiver of 2 years, 2 months.
Wow.
To set up a legal practice. That's where I set up. I set up the legal practice.
That's because of the merit, is it?
That's we see.
Or your work.
Yeah. So it was a big achievement being a Telugu guy, and I did it on my own. Right. I've done the research and I made an application. I was subjected to interview for 45 minutes by the big heads of our professional regulator. So I could set up within 10 months, and I was the only first person to set up a legal practice in the entire UK, a Telugu background guy. I was the first person. And post-qualifying as a solicitor, within 1 year, I was given the award of higher rights of audience.
Brilliant.
Higher rights of audience will be given to those solicitors who display excellence skills in advocacy. So I hold the higher rights of audience. so that I can go and argue before the High Court up to Supreme Court. Not all solicitors can go and argue before the High Court because they are not allowed to go to the High Court for advocacy skills or Supreme Court. And thirdly, I am the Notary Public first from Telugu background.
Yeah.
As on today. I'm the only one in the entire United Kingdom from both the states. I'm not saying as a, boost.
But it's a moment of pride. Why not? Why not, Kamalji? Because if you have achieved something, you should definitely talk about it. And I was telling, right, I mean, though we focused more on the dual citizenship topic, but there's so much that you have achieved and brilliant. I think the normal pathway for a solicitor is into politics. Are you doing something in British politics?
God willing, I have hope that, I am considering seriously.
Oh, okay. So we can see you as a member of parliament at some point.
Yeah, but
why not?
I have two minds.
Yeah.
I am going to take a decision whether it is here or back home.
Okay. So that's the reason you're fighting for dual citizenship?
It's not only the reason.
On a lighter note, I'm saying.
I think that route we can go back and earn back the citizenship that is there.
You can surround it, surrender this and then go for it,
But definitely that's in my mind.
But you have done so much in the country. Why not? You can explore that as well.
As a solicitor 20 years, I'm in serving the public.
Yeah.
And community-wise, for the last 14 years I've been doing. And as a lawyer, in overall, this is my 25th year. So I've seen different classes of situations, different classes of people, and I've seen the organizations, and I have a sense of appetite for serving the people with the honesty.
True.
So I believe much more can be done to the public if you are in a public service.
True. Makes sense. Thank you so much, Kamalji. Anything else that you want to say?
Yeah, but I must commend your job.
Thank you. Thank you.
You are bringing.
Hope my candid conversations were not too difficult for you.
No.
I know there was sensitive topics that we touched.
There are sensitive, but that's a reality.
Yeah.
And but what you're doing is a really good job.
Thank you.
And bringing people and asking them to talk, and it gives other people an insight, and it encourages other people to come and talk as well and share their experience, knowledge, and help our community and by at large both countries.
True. Absolutely. That's the intent, and you're spot on, Kamalji. The Candid Conversations, when I started, the intent of this is to bring Indian diaspora people and also other successful people so that we can give that inspiration, motivation to the younger generation and also to the professional world. And luckily it's going really well, and people are watching, and I had really privilege to have great people on the show. They always been nice, and today you have been brilliant.
Thank you.
Let me make it very, very honest, because it's a very sensitive topic. People may not want to talk about it and all, but you being a practicing solicitor still want to share point of view and all. I don't think we spoke anything wrong. But yeah, it is a sensitive topic. So it's very interesting. Most of the research that you have done, I was thinking that you would just come and speak, but you have done a lot of research, which is amazing. I'm sure you would have been doing it for a number of years. So let's bring that knowledge, and I'll probably soon, guys, I'll probably have a conversation with most of the bigger diaspora on the dual citizenship very soon. Maybe we can do it as a discussion item, and I will definitely invite you, Kamalji, if you can come.
It'll be an honor.
Privilege to the show as well. And thank you so much, guys. We'll be back again with more on immigration topics and also financial tips that I'm doing, and Candid Conversations you have been supporting. Thank you so much for this. Let's come back and see another guest in the next week. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Let them wish Happy Christmas.
Merry Christmas, by the way. Yeah, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year to all our Indians and United Kingdom people.
Yeah.
And enjoy the festive period. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kamalji.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, audience. See you again.
Bye.